Ever get bored and watch porn?
I had a moment like that.
I was doing that recently, and
Yeah.
then I saw a hot chick, and like at the beginning, it was like gruesome. Where I was like, "How bad can it be?" That he like skipped a little bit further. I saw a guy gets down. I was like, "Nope, that's it. I'm done."
I don't know what sides you're on, Josh. You gotta stop. Oh man. Hey guys, welcome to episode whatever this is of the Chucklefux podcast. Josh got sounded.
Oh, not yet.
Jay got
He's about
fucked
to.
by his dad,
That's right.
and I am my own
That's
uncle.
We're talking about concave gooch.
Oh man.
Do you think that the balls will like nestle nicely if they were concave?
That's if you were like
No, I
Like,
think your balls would
upside
be.
down.
Yeah,
Upside down.
Yeah, when you just
I-
slap your nuts in the little, you know?
it's gonna. Yeah, and that's
You
gonna
slap
be
your
like.
nuts.
It's gonna be like the TikToking thing in like a grandfather clock.
What? Say that whole thing again.
Grandfather cock.
I heard gland floor clock.
Line floor.
Oh, fuck.
Try again.
Hold on. Let me. I was woefully unprepared for the start of the episode, as you can tell.
My mom's cock is concave.
How would
That's
that?
fair.
How would that be shaped?
Like
Concave.
a concave.
You're
A
right.
concavity.
Just like imagine like a fleshlight, but like you remember those like X-ray scenes from
Dude,
like
you know-
hentai? It's
you know
like instead of
how-
like a little.
Yeah, you
It's
know
like
how
a
we
dick.
described a extreme chode as a dinner plate? Think of a bowl.
No. You have like a shot glass, you know?
Yeah, shot glass.
Yeah.
Shot glass.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I could take that.
Welcome back, guys. Take a first podcast. We're at the Divvy Ranch. Every day we stray further from the grace of God. Today we're talking about cock-shaped bowls, specifically concave cocks.
I didn't realize I got the motto of uniform wrong this whole time.
The power of
It's the power of one with the fabric of the farm.
combining the power of one with the fabric of the farm.
I think we should figure that out. We should figure out different ranches. Different.
Divvy Ranch.
It's so dumb.
That's the point.
Can I go back to my airbending shit?
No.
What? I thought you finished that note.
Yeah.
It was never a no. I just kind of brought it up because airbending. I have a confession to make. First of all, I apologize formally, Eric. Remember when I played Little Blue for you when you were on the train and then you decided to get the Spotify family plan?
Oh yeah. So what's been happening for context is that we have like Amazon Echoes and stuff throughout the house.
Yeah.
And like my Spotify account is linked to the Spotify account that's linked to the Amazon Echoes and shit.
Yep.
So whenever they play music, it like if I'm listening to something, it completely disrupts what I'm listening to and plays it at
Yeah.
home instead.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
sometimes what'll happen is they'll be playing some random shit, whether they're actually trying to listen to music or
Yeah.
like they're trying to put some fucked shit.
Example of random shit includes hood classic like Dora the Explorer theme song.
Or you think you the fart.
Or Caillou.
Or Deep Throat.
And or Deep Throat. What happened that I
That's
need
a
to
classic.
apologize for is that I told you that I technically did it by accident when I played Little Blue by Jacob Collier. That was a half truth. When I first started talking and I activated the Alexa, I wasn't aware of what the repercussion would be, but halfway through trying to say the song, I realized that that's what it would do. But I just went, fuck him. And I played it anyways. So it brought me a unreasonable amount of joy when the song paused and in chat you just went, I'm getting the Spotify track.
Because I technically have Duo because, you know, me and Jay share one.
Yeah, they're
And,
gay like that.
And so I was like, oh, maybe I should just get the family one so I could just add a Spotify account. And I've been saying it for a while.
Because it was like only $2 more or something.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
only $2 more for like six
How
accounts
many
or
accounts?
like something
Oh,
like that.
6?
I think it has like
I
6
can
accounts.
use one then.
Yeah, that's why I sent it in the chat. Because I like for one
No,
for
I didn't
all
know
of
how
us.
it worked, honestly.
No, it's like one for all of us, and then
For
I
the
use-
house.
for everyone in the house, and then
Mhm.
one for the Alexa, and then I have one more for whoever I want to give it to.
Yeah.
which I haven't decided yet. So I was just like, I'll get the family plan, so then at least like, you know, I can go uninterrupted like throughout my day.
Without someone playing some fuck shit.
Yes, that's someone putting some fuck shit, and I could just listen to my podcast and stuff like that.
To
in
be
peace.
fair, it's only been Bert and me doing all the fuck shit. Joshua's been staying off of it relatively. Joshua's a good person, unlike the two
I
of us.
use my YouTube music.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think Josh really listens to music out loud, like in any sense.
Yeah.
He never really asks for.
I like to listen to everything like I could in the song.
What he said. Question mark?
I don't.
Yes.
Like all the specific details like that happen in the song.
Yeah.
Like I like to listen to every instrument in the song. And like if they have like some like audio thing going on.
Okay, what he's saying is he likes to listen to like his music like with his headphones on instead of out loud where you can like lose details of the song.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Yes.
Yeah.
I like to enjoy my music.
Us
Doesn't clear anything up, which is why we were like, what? Okay, so yeah, Josh likes to listen to his music in his headphones where we don't give a fuck. We just want to listen to our music.
Exactly, and because of that, Joshua's interest doesn't clash with Eric's when he's listening to his podcast. So
yeah.
And also, he I don't think he gets as much genuine joy out of it as Bert and I when we play a song and that song in like 20 seconds cuts back into a podcast.
I'll try to switch
I
it.
enjoy those actually. I'm just not here for it. It doesn't happen because I'm not home during those times.
No, sometimes to get the maximum enjoyment, you just gotta do it yourself.
Because if he's at work, I'm at work too. Or if he's at school, I'm at school as well. So I'm never gonna have that experience.
Yeah.
I've had it like once, but that was when I wasn't going to school.
Yeah.
So, one, I formally apologize for that. But two, I think you'll be happy to know that the karma that came from that was a sudden burst of needing to shit while I was rollerblading to school. And I'm not talking about like, I need to shit. I better shit when I go to school. I'm talking about from leaving a car at 0% shit wanting to being 100 halfway through the journey and being touching cloth like 5 minutes away from the restroom.
I feel like whenever you need to shit, it's always touching cloth.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole you touching cloth always.
Like, I get it, but not like as frequently as you bring it up.
I honestly don't get the whole touching cloth thing. Like, I don't get like a little bit of like kind of just like hanging out, and you're just like, oh no, don't leave. You suck it back in,
I
think
think
you gotta fully shit or you don't.
I'm pretty sure my asshole is just higher caliber than your guys' asshole
No,
because
I don't think it is. I think
that means
it's
it's
weaker because you can't keep it in.
no. So here's the thing, right? Caliber as in like rounds and how fat the round. I have more pressure built up in my ass. Remember airbending? There's so much pressure built up in my ass that it just
I think you just have a fatter asshole.
loose. You mean?
Fatter asshole, more not lubricant, but like
lubricant,
more
lubricant asshole,
elasticity. Or just like I could like actually fit a dinner plate cock in your ass.
No, it was just a bad time. And I think there's as often as I mentioned touching cough and how often I need to shit and how dire the situation is. I think this one might have taken the cake because the first thought when it happened is not I need to shit. It's like, oh my god, this is divine retribution for me fucking up Eric's commute. It was to the point where when it happened, I was like, oh god, this is an unnatural occurrence. This is what I get.
Angry at me.
This is God who's angry at you.
I ain't gonna
God
get smitten right now.
Eric's paying $2 more a month for 6 Spotify accounts.
Yeah,
He's angry.
100%. And usually, right, I don't know about you guys, but when I use a public bathroom, even the ones that are relatively clean in the university, I like to touch as little of the bathroom as possible. I try to keep like touching to just 2 fingers max. And even my butt cheek doesn't touch anything when I sit down to poop because, well, I don't hover. I usually just find one of those like sheets that covers the seat so that I don't have to touch anything and it's fresh.
2 fingers? What do you mean 2 fingers? When you touch like
He's-
when you
when I open
maximum
doors,
he wants to touch-
when I
yeah.
like
Oh,
I
oh.
just pinch it so that I don't use my whole hand, so that I
Oh,
touch as
okay.
little
Yeah,
surfaces as
I
possible.
was like I'm sorry, you had like 2 fingers between your ass cheeks and the seat. Like you just
I
It's a
report.
2-finger method.
I'll,
you're like
2-finger.
I'll
This
report
would be
back
2
when
fingers
I
lengths away
get to
from
the age where
toilet.
I need my fingers for assistance in shitting. Definitely didn't need any assistance for the shit to come out in that particular bathroom visit because everything just shat out, and it shat out so hard that I need to basically cling to every single surface I could possibly get to in the stall for maximum support and stability, just because of the sheer velocity of my shit that
Imagine
came
when
out.
you shit, you're like,
velocity.
your legs like, ah!
Yeah, pretty much. Like my legs were like planted, like my arms are just fucking on the walls of the stall, going like, oh,
You're like
God.
holding on so you don't blast off.
Yeah, I'm like leaning back towards the back of the seat.
Was this shit where you had to take off your clothes?
Well, I didn't get to it. It came out too fast. It was over in a
You
second
still
before I
don't
could
get it
react.
then. You still don't get taking off your clothes shit. I brought that up to Bert recently. He's like, what? How do you not get that?
No, I think Jay just has like a wide elastic little asshole. You know what I
I
mean?
do. Very elastic, very wide, ready to take anything.
All right.
Us, on the other hand, very tight and small.
Yep, very tight and small.
Well, I accept your apology. I was gonna do it anyways. That was just the moment that I had to do it because usually when it happens, I'm in the middle of work. But since that happened in the morning on my commute, I did it right then and there because I was like, oh, well, I'm not really doing anything right now except my Duolingo, right? So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do it then and there. And
It was the
then-
perfect opportunity.
it was the perfect opportunity because usually I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll do it later, and I get home later and I forget I'm tired. I don't want to do it, But
you guys just reminded him to do it.
yeah, you guys like usually just reminded me, but that day you reminded me, and I was like, oh, I could do this right now.
Right time, right place.
Yeah, right time, right place. So I did it. That's the best thing I could have ever done for myself.
And that's the day my life changed.
And that day my life changed for the better. My life is so good now. And so in that vein of like shit, I was thinking about this.
Shit.
While shitting?
Well, yeah, I was actually shitting. I was in the finishing stages of my shit experience. How do I word this? I didn't really think this topic through, or like not like how to ask this like very like well. But like, when do you guys see a thing like what? How?
Take your time. You got it.
Dun 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 dun. Dunk.
When you guys see a nasty thing, it is the nasty thing with context, or do you guys see the nasty thing as just the nasty thing? Does that make sense?
Define.
Yeah.
Like, do you like when you shit, right? Like when you look back and you look at your shit, do you look at your shit and you're like, ugh, like that's shit, right? Or are you like, okay, well, it's in its natural habitat, it's where it's supposed to be, like it's just shit. That's just what it is. But if you were to see someone like just full on hand fisting, like like holding food, gripping food with force, like with this piece of shit, right? Is that when it becomes like really disgusting for you? Or when you just see a piece of shit in any environment or any situation, is that disgusting?
I think as shown on the podcast multiple times for me is with the context.
Okay, so then when you see it in its natural habitat, like where it's supposed to be, like
I'll be like, okay, yeah.
okay,
I think there's a little bit of both, because I think it's impossible to completely remove yourself from the fact that it's shit, which in itself is a nasty piece of material thing, whatever.
Okay.
And however, the multiplier for context, at least for me, is pretty insane. Like, for example, if I see a piece of shit in like the dirt, like piece of dog shit, right?
Okay.
I'll be like, it's a piece of shit. 1, gross, but 2, normal, But if I see like a piece of shit on like a clean hot plate, I'll be like, oh, it's just not, it's terrible.
yeah, Okay.
Because the implication that comes with that leads to a fuller story for more potential for being extremely disgusting.
I think clean and shit should not be in the same sentence.
I have clean pieces of shit.
I clean up my shits.
Okay, all right.
Well, in this case, clean is an adjective for the plate, which in my
Yeah,
mind
yeah.
clears it. Because you're describing like shitting in a clean bathroom. Completely normal sentence. Same sentence, clean and shit in the same exact thing. But clean is describing a different subject. I get what you're saying, though. I think clean should never be an adjective for shit.
So hair, like, what's your guys' like thing on that? Like hair, same thing.
I don't understand why people think hair is gross. I understand it if hair is mixed in gross stuff.
Yeah.
However, I always under the same impression that hair is something that you touch constantly regardless. So the fact that when people, I don't know if it's the same thing for you, but sometimes people would see like their hair that fell off of their head like a minute ago and they would see on the desk and go, ew, hair. And then they remove it with one finger like you're disgusted by it. I'm like, you have an entire head full of the same stuff that's touching you 24/7. What do you mean, ew? It came out of you. Hello? You know?
Yeah,
I get confused by that.
I get like the whole like cleanliness of it, where you're like, oh, okay, well, I like dust. I don't want dust to be all over my shit. You know what I mean? Like shit being my stuff, right? Not my actual shit. So like I just kind of dust it off, but I'm not like, ugh, like a piece of hair, you know, whatever. Like in food, most like all the times that hair has been in my food usually has come from my own person.
Yeah.
Just because I have a lot of it. And so sometimes what'll happen is like a beard hair will like fall onto like my stuff. Like when we went to Lucille's, I had like a beard hair that fell onto my gravy, and I was like, okay, well that's me, you know. But this might be a hot take, so you know, like prepare yourself, listener.
Yeah.
But usually when I see a piece of hair and I don't think it's mine, I don't really freak out.
Forgot about it?
No, freak out about it. Freak out.
Oh, freak out.
Yeah, no. I don't freak out about it.
I forgot about it.
Forget about it. Yeah, no, I kind of just like
No, I don't care
take it
usually.
off, and I mean, because if you really want to think about it, right, the hair is like one of the most inconsequential pieces of a kitchen, especially in like a public restaurant, right?
Yeah.
Because there's probably so many other things that are happening that are even like that are more
Grosser
that
than
are
that.
more disgusting.
Fingernails.
The fingernails, like what's underneath the fingernails, the
Yeah.
fact that those fingers are touching your food, the fact that whether they may or may not be like using gloves, you know, and even if they're using gloves, their gloves might be touching other things that like they, you know, they shouldn't be touching. You know, they might be like wiping their nose with their hand and then touching your, you know, your food later. You know, there's so many
factors.
There's so many factors, and like you can't really guarantee anything, you know, when you go into a public space. So like a hair.
It's the least of your concern.
Yeah, if it's like a long fucking, if it's like just, you know, whatever, right? Then like, okay, I can get how you might be kind of disgusted by it because it's such a large piece of hair. Or if it kind of looks like a pube, like, okay, yeah, like I get it, you know?
Oopsies.
But if it's like a little, but if it's like one of your guys' hairs, like my hair, like being in somebody's food, I get it because I have long hair. Like my hair easily like reaches like a foot long, right? Your guys' hair is like, you know, 3 or 4 inches, or like Josh's is like not even an inch long, you know, he's at the top part of his head, right?
Yeah.
But like if it's
I'm
like
not bald, by the way.
you're not bald, but like he has like
I'm
a
more
buzz
buzzed
cut.
right now.
Yeah, he has like buzz sides and whatever's happening on the top. And then Jay's is like, yeah.
I have like the typical Lego hairpiece.
he really does. Yeah. So if it's like one of
I
yours
can
is like
pull it off and
a sprinkler.
it comes out in one piece.
Yeah. But yeah, if it's like your guys' hair, like, you know, I'm not really gonna give a crap about it. I mean, it just happens, and like I said, there's so many things that happen in a public restaurant kitchen that like a hair should be the least of your concerns. You know?
I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but I have so much hair that I found over the years in home cooked food, like from family.
That's who. Yeah.
Like it just happens. It's something like hair falls off your head. Like, what are you gonna do about it? You're not gonna put on a fucking hairnet when you just cook dinner. Like, what the fuck is that? Yeah.
I mean, you could, but like, you know, you're at home. You know where your own hair has been.
Yeah.
You know.
No.
Like I get. I mean, like I get like like, do I ever fault people for being like, oh, it's a hair in my food. Can I get like a redone or whatever, like a refund or something? Like, can I get like a new plate? Like, I don't blame them, you know.
That's fair.
But for me, I'm like, not that serious, you know. If someone was like, oh my god, you're disgusting, like, it's like, all right, hold on, chill out, right? Like, do you know all the things that may have happened to your food before you ordered it until you got it? There's been so many, like, you don't even know if the guy washed his hands after he wiped his own ass.
Food recently?
Exactly.
What?
You don't need to know.
What did you say?
You don't need to know.
The fuck did he just say?
He said he sneezed in your food.
No.
But yeah, no, I was thinking about hair, and like, you know, when I take a shower, like there's some hair that like builds up around the drain and I throw it out and stuff. And I was like, I wonder if like someone looking at that, because like it, you know, it's in the trash can and I could see it. It's not like I really cover it. Sometimes I cover it, sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm like, I'm looking at the hair and I'm like, I know that's like my head hair. I know that's not like pubes or anything like that. I know where that, I mean, it could be. But like,
if it's your own pube, then like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, yeah. But then it's like, I wonder
Stop
if
just ripping it off and putting it in the drain, bro.
sorry, bro. I was just thumbing it in the drain.
that's the only way you clog the drains.
If I want to take a bath, I just clog it with my pubes.
Oh, God. Jesus.
But yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, I was like, oh, like, you know, if I were to visit someone's house and like say if like, you know, they threw their hair in like the trash can and it like looks like it's just, you know, head hair that they, you know, when they took a shower and stuff, I don't think I would really care about that, you know? If they threw it on me, yeah, I would like it for, you know, to not touch me. But like it just being there doesn't really matter. Or if I like saw it, like, you know, so I don't know.
I don't think it would bother me as much. Like I think I would be grossed out by it because it's like, you know that I'm coming over, like
in the trash can. It's where it's supposed to be.
Trash can, but
you know, if it was like on the sink, right? If it was like just like a balled up little piece of like hair shit, right, next to the sink, like on the counter, like okay, like chill out. Let's put it where it's supposed to be. Let's be cleanly. But if it's in like it's where it's supposed to be, like all right, well, like what, like when someone like forgets to flush, like okay, I'd prefer it, yeah, sure, if you were to flush, right? But it's in where it's supposed to be. It's not like someone shit in the shower. You know what I mean?
I feel like hair in general shouldn't be like
as gross as it's portrayed.
As gross as people like to like think, you know, like that's just.
I mean, like your face in someone's hair, like I said, like hair is such an inconsequential, like it doesn't really matter. Of course, context matters. Like if you got like a piece of hair in like a large pile of shit, like that just amplifies the grossness of it.
And then there's also a weird like. I guess a weird difference between like human hair from like another human and also like pet hair. It's made of the exact same material, but people do like wild shit with pet hair all the time. Like people make little like fluff cap out of it for some reason. Like imagine if someone did that with human hair.
Oh man,
fucking did it a sweater of human
like
hair.
Fucking psychopath. Yeah.
I remember hearing a story where that, where like a crazy it was like a family where they like their tradition is like to take the hair of like the wife
firstborn
and then just like put it in a teddy bear or something like that. And so then you just have this teddy bear. It's just one teddy bear. And it's just filled with like generations of like these girls' hair.
So
like they weren't a cult or anything. It's just a weird tradition.
That part is weird where you like it's like multiple women's hair.
I forgot where I heard that from.
But
though.
I can understand the idea of like, say if you want like, well, no, like you know the idea of like when you have like a kid or like a pet or something like that, and you take like an old toy and you shove that old toy in a new toy.
Kind
of thing.
Well, I think that makes more sense for animals though.
Well, I mean, it also makes sense for people because I mean we work the same way. Like pheromones are still a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like a kid is still going to be more attached to a thing that has like, say if you were to put like a piece of like their old like blanket that they used to like wear all the time, and you put it in a toy, like they're more likely to be more attached to that toy, like a teddy bear or something like that, more attached to that teddy bear than they are to be to like some random toy or like a random teddy bear that doesn't have that, you know, because of the smell. Or
we're also mammals, like we have the same shit.
We are, you know, one of our senses is smell, except me.
You?
Yeah, except me.
Do you associate by taste?
I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna lick my mom and be like, oh yeah, this tastes like my teddy bear 10 years ago. Yeah, no. I think that's kind of like one of the things that I find unfortunate about being in relationships is that I don't know what my significant others smell like. Because I know that Mexican lover puts on like perfume and stuff like that, but I have no idea what it smells like. What?
Start licking.
Yeah. Association my taste, bro.
Do I want to say that? I lick other parts of her that don't get perfume.
No.
So, you know?
You're right there.
But yeah, no, like the idea of like putting like your mother's hair because it has those smells inside of like a toy, like a teddy bear kind of thing, isn't that wild. But putting generations of hair.
It's like a whoa.
Whoa. You know? That's like some witchcraft type shit, you know?
I think it was like the first wife of every generation. Like, even if it's like from a different family, they would still put the hair in there. And then
the fact that they're
I think
so
it's like a Reddit thing that I read.
I think that the fact that they're so specific with like which wife from the generation is also very bizarre and alarming.
Yeah, that's kind of... I
think it was like the husband that was like trying to coerce the wife. Be like, hey, you have to put your hair in there, by the way.
I get the idea.
I don't though.
I mean, like I get
it's
it.
It's white people stuff.
It's white people stuff. So like, I get it, but that's really weird. Like, there's not really like a. I get the whole passing down like an item kind of thing. Like, oh yeah, my grandma used to wear this ring. Like, and now she asked me to pass it down to you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, and that's like the ring that you use to like ask someone for marriage kind of thing. That I think that's really cool. It keeps like like it's almost like an artifact in a way.
Yeah, I mean,
reusing it.
I get the whole idea of passing stuff down through generations and maybe adding a little to it, sort of deal. So like, there's traditions in terms of like maybe a village somewhere has a tradition that every new generation of village chief like adds something to like a totem, like that sort of ritual, right? Like, I get it, but at the same time, on a such specific matter. On a such specific
like a bodily thing is
bodily
wild.
article is fucking wild.
Maybe if it's like baby teeth.
That's still.
I mean, yeah, it's still kind of wild, but that's something that you lose anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
So like same with hair technically, but still.
Well, yes. But I feel like hair is. Those are both kind of wild.
I think if it's a tradition that's valued like for a long time. It gets a bare pass where you're kind of like, okay, that's your thing, weird, but that's your thing, sure, whatever.
I think the way that they collect those things also matters,
yes.
Right? Because for me, teeth, it's not like you're pulling like the teeth of your first wife, like a first generation wife or whatever, like whatever it is. You're just ripping off her molars and throwing it in a jar, Yeah. It's not like that. It's like you take like, like the baby teeth or something like that. Of like the first child of a generation.
Triggered a hidden memory where when I was very young, my grandfather kept one of my baby teeth in a jar because he's like, oh, he's growing, that sort of deal.
Yeah.
But then later on,
he wore it as a necklace.
No.
Grind it and drink it. You put it in a smoothie.
That's how he stayed young for so long.
Using his rice.
He fucking
for
died, so it didn't work if it did that.
No.
Maybe that's why he died. He had the wrong teeth.
Yeah, you're right. No, what he did instead was that because he was getting old and his teeth also falling out because of old age, he like put one of his fallen out teeth in the same container.
Oh, okay.
And we kept that in like a couple of months, and then we lost it, and we didn't care about it.
I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah, we lost it. So
I thought you were going to say that he put your old tooth in like a denture and used it
as
his
that too.
I was like, no.
It's a relatively.
Wait. No.
I would like to think it's a relatively like normal thing. Like you see how he got there, where he's like, oh, loose teeth. I'm keeping this as like a memory, like a thing. Like it's like for memory. And then he's like, oh, I'm also losing teeth. Oh, it's a cute little like container. We both lost teeth in it. That sort of deal. A little bit bizarre that teeth is technically the subject, but at the same time.
But like, what else are you gonna have?
Yeah,
like,
what else are you gonna?
Like, you're gonna keep like different ages of your cum in a jar. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Like you're gonna take like different boogers or like make blood samples and throw it in there.
If you have multiple children across the decade, then that's different layers of cum that you saved.
Do you think like You think if you were to take different people's cum and put it into one jar, that it would separate to the different people's cum?
Like the layer, like
Yeah, it would,
dense
like,
your
layer.
cum.
Yeah, it would be like, oh yeah, this
like
is Josh's
oil and
cum.
water.
What?
Like oil and water.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
then there's a density difference,
Yeah.
and then maybe you can get a separation, a layer of cum, 50 shades of cum.
Yeah, you think that would happen?
It might.
Huh.
Maybe it depends on how hydrated the person is.
Maybe.
Or it would just all mix together into a concoction. Forbidden jungle juice.
I killed myself. Okay, can I? I can go into another topic
Do it,
where you
hard
guys can
segue.
take one of yours. I can hard segue, or I can force Josh to hard segue.
Oh, do it. Force him to hard segue.
So, what are you pre-matting at me for?
For context, Joshua put a note in our podcast note chat that says getting pre-mad at
I
Eric.
don't know. You tell him, Jaden.
I'm a little worried about this because
You should not be worried about it. Don't worry. It's inconsequential.
It's me, like my anxiety, right? And me being a people pleaser. But like, I don't know, like what I did, you know?
Oh, so...
Okay.
See, it was a good idea. It was an awesome idea.
No, we knew. We talked about it.
It was an awesome idea.
Yeah. You guys know me pretty well.
We're in cahoots about it.
Yeah.
So, at this point in time, I would
Okay.
like to make another formal
God
apology.
fucking damn it! What? What do you mean?
We were totally fucking with you. It wasn't
You
Josh.
motherfuckers.
It wasn't Josh getting pre-mad at you. It was actually my note. I was getting pre-mad at you.
I didn't say I just say
you.
it was me getting pre-mad. I just
It
said
just
getting
says-
pre-mad at Eric.
The
God damn
reason
it.
why we were fucking with you is because when
Okay.
the time came up and I had to put the note, my phone was dead. So I kindly asked Josh, who kindly helped me to put the note into the podcast chat. And I was like, this is going to be great. Watch this, Josh. Instead of waiting, you put it in and see what happens.
No.
I was brushing my teeth too, so I was like,
Yeah,
hold
yeah,
on, let me finish first.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because I
We
know
both
that.
knew that it would be fucking with you the whole time.
It has been. I've been like, what have I done to Josh?
Exactly.
What are the things that I've
because
done to Josh?
nothing's happened
How have
between
I
us.
slighted to Josh at all?
Exactly.
I was like, I don't think I've ever slighted Josh. Not really.
I think
you know?
like the best part of that is because if I put it, he would have been like, he's probably fucking around. Like it's a 50% him fucking around and a 50% him actually getting pre-mad
I
at
think
me.
I would have 50% thought that for like a second, and then the rest of it, I'm like, okay, what have I done to Jay? You know?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
can
yeah.
think of like 4 things off the top of my head, maybe, that I might have done. You
But
know?
With me,
Josh.
you
With
never
Josh,
know.
and I'm like, what? Like it could be a really small thing. I might have just like, said something to you and that just set you off, and I'm like, oh, what? It's such a small thing. Did I really mess with them, you know?
Your intuition is right. It is a very small thing. So you don't have to worry about it. It's
I'm still worried
completely
about
fine.
it.
I'm going to go ahead and seize that
Okay.
worry because
All
it's
right.
extremely
it's
stupid.
really stupid.
Oh, it's so dumb.
Okay.
Friday morning, Joshua woke up and he started getting ready for work.
Okay.
And because Josh and I sleep in the same room and
Okay.
he sleep directly under me, when he wakes up, I typically wake up as well.
Okay.
Not to the point where I can't fall back asleep, so it's never really a disturbance,
Okay.
but enough to interrupt my sleep, right? I have to wake up, be in the real world for a second or two before I go back. That day, however, I chose not to go back. What I chose instead, in Joshua's perspective, is that I just sat up in bed, I looked towards him, and I went, I'm so sad. And he's like, what happened? And I was like, I'm so sad. I don't know how often, right? You guys have good dreams. I almost never have good dreams anymore.
No, I had one like this morning, honestly.
Okay. I honestly envious because I don't have good dreams anymore. My dreams are
I
either
barely have dreams in the first place,
very
though.
boring,
Yeah.
not like you said, no dreams at all, or I have fucking toe drumming nightmares.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. You mostly don't dream. If I do, it's like I'm dying. Someone's ripping me in half and eating
Yeah.
my insides.
Yeah.
I just have a digging dream where I'm just digging constantly.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or I have the falling one where you fall. Yeah.
Mm.
And I wake up to that.
Well,
Okay.
luckily, it was none of that. It was actually a very good dream that Joshua has interrupted.
And then I fucked his mom.
And I briefly explained to him what that dream is. It's that my parents brought to the front of the house, like I received a bunch of gifts from my parents at the front of the house, and I have basically a pile of stuff that they given me, right? And usually, right, for context, my parents doesn't give me very flattering things. Like it ranges from fucking like 14 cans of sardine in like tomato soup, or like
you just
broccoli
got more
stem.
stuff yesterday.
I just got more stuff yesterday, or like raw toast. But what?
Raw toast.
Uncooked toast.
It's just bread. Raw
Pre-made toast.
stupid motherfucker.
It was none of that at time. Like it was a really big haul, but it was stuff that was really, really good. It was like appliances that seems very useful. There was
This
like,
isn't a dream, or this is what you got yesterday?
This isn't
no,
a
this
dream.
isn't a dream.
Oh,
What I got
okay.
yesterday was
It was more the same.
yeah, it's more of the same.
War never changes.
No, but it was like appliances. There were like replica swords. There was like yard stuff, like lawn chairs, like plant seeds, like
Okay.
little pots, like little hanging pots for the plant seeds. And then it was like a half-built like Gundam. It was like a bunch of stuff, like knickknacks that you would actually like and get excited about, right? And I was really excited for it. Here's how you know my parents fucked me up.
Okay.
At that point in time, I went, this is a dream. This is not real. It would never happen in real life. Stuff is so useful. Partly also because there's a couple of items in there that are from like my childhood that has long since been gone. Like my parents threw that shit away when I was really young. And then it's back. So I was like, yo,
Yeah.
At that point, I realized I was dreaming. And it was such a good dream that I actually realized I was dreaming and started like kind of lucid dreaming. Not really. Like I gained control over my dream because I know I was dreaming. So I knew I was dreaming, but I went, this is such a good time. I'm not even gonna sweat it. Like I'm dreaming. It's cool. This is cool. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
So because I got really excited about the lawn stuff and appliances, I basically fucking materialized the two of you behind me. I was like, all right, here we go, boys. Come on.
Let's do this. Yeah.
Fucking start spawning. And then you came in. Joshua came in. You guys were both very excited with me about a pile of stuff that we received potentially for the house.
We're like, oh,
Exactly. You guys are, Joshua was looking at like the half-built Gundam stuff, like geeking out about it.
Nerd.
I don't even know Gundam though. That's the thing.
And you got very excited about one of the appliances. What the appliance is that you got excited about is a squeegee, but it's also like a steamer squeegee. Like it's a window cleaner. It's a window cleaner that like steam blasts the window, but also squeegees it clean at the same time. So it's like an all-in-one, like, and the whole window is really clean afterward, right? Or, ideally, that's how it works. You got so excited about it that you decided to test it out right away. In our living room, right next to the front door where that pile of stuff is, it's a window with blinds on it that we never fucking clean. Like, we never touched that window. So you saw that window, and you're like, oh, and then you just book fucking towards the window. Let's fucking rack, like, the blinds out of the way, make like a loud-ass cranking noise, and you started, like, fucking steaming it and cleaning it, and you look back, you're like, oh, right? But because, like, you kind of swatted the blinds away, it made a really loud sound. And in my dream, I heard in real life that Joshua was moving underneath me. And I was like, yo, you got to chill. You're gonna fuck this up. The dream's gonna end. You're gonna wake up Josh in real life. Shut the fuck up. And then you were like, no, look at this. And then you fucking like, you swatted like another set to clean the second window. And that's the moment Joshua got up and woke me up. And I was like, fuck! That was like the first item we got into, and you fucked it up. I was so sad.
I see.
So in my headcanon, you woke Joshua up in real life, cross dimension, and the rest of that stuff is gone. Like we don't get to see that together anymore.
That's so unfortunate.
I know.
I'm
Can't
gonna
believe
make
you fucked it up.
I'm gonna make a formal apology. I'm so sorry that I got excited about a window squeegee, a steaming window squeegee that I don't know 100% if I would actually be that excited about. But that sounds pretty awesome, honestly. Yeah.
We didn't even get to look at the lawn stuff, man.
I'm sorry.
We could have planted flowers. We could have hanging plots of succulents.
I actually would have liked that.
I think the lawn stuff would have been neat.
Yeah, no, that would have been cool.
It was really stupid. So I was talking to Josh like the whole entire fucking morning about it before he went to work.
Wow.
We did have a blast though.
That's amazing. I'm so glad that you had that good of a dream. And I'm almost sorry that I ruined it for you.
You should be.
You almost ruined it. You did ruin it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I don't know. Well, what would you actually get really excited about appliance-wise then, since you wouldn't get excited about a squeegee window steamer?
I don't know if I would get excited about a squeegee window thing. I don't know. I don't know what appliance I would really get excited about. I think I would probably get excited about a vacuum, like an actual vacuum.
Oh, that's fair. Pretty good.
So dream about that next time.
All right, I will. What appliance would you get excited about, Josh?
Oh, you know what I would have
The smoker.
A smoker?
Oh, that would have been pretty good.
I mean, I'm really hyped about it right now. I might get a smoker.
I think I would either get excited about honestly any appliances that you guys would be excited about to use, especially like for the summers and stuff. I think I probably would have been excited about like a remote control Roomba that like self cleans and shit.
Like a little station.
Yeah, like a little station, or like one of those ones that like actually mops at the same time.
Oh, yes.
Or even like a vacuum that also like, it like doubles as a mop kind of thing. Yeah, it steams. Yeah, that would have been really cool. That's how you know that we're old when we get like excited about that kind of like appliances.
No, it was the refrigerator that made me feel old. When we were looking at fridges at Best Buy, we were like, whoa!
We're like, oh shit, this has so much space. Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it has
like
a dedicated
all the actual
water
cool stuff.
filter.
It was like,
Oh
I was
my
like, okay,
God.
that's the as a picture in it. But look how much space it has back here. I can see the whole arm.
And then we'd be like, oh my god, this one's only $500. It's like 1 month of rent. We can kind of afford that.
And we're like, if we all pitch in together.
Yeah. We all pitch in, we can get it. I think part of that.
Totally sorry to interrupt you, but not really. I got really excited when I was looking at screen doors in Home Depot to replace our current screen door because I saw one of those like magnet, like self-closing curtains, and I was like, oh, yo!
I've been thinking about getting like a little screen door for my room to keep the cats from going in there, because I would like some kind of ventilation in my room, just so it's not so stuffy and shit, just so I can leave my door open and I don't have to worry about the cats going in there. But I don't know if a magnet screen door would really do anything.
You just put like a little baby gate.
Or like beads. Little hanging beads.
That's not gonna stop them.
Yeah, I was gonna say beads are deaf. If anything, beads will entice them to go into your room.
No, it just sounds hella gay. Just having like beads.
We should just have that at the entrance of our house.
You just make your room look like a fucking Indian restaurant, like a shawarma place. You just go in through some fucking beads in there.
Hello, my friend. Welcome to the
Can I have the spicy chicken shawarma?
You want some chicken? Hello, welcome, my friend. Come in, $2. Come on.
It'll fucking stand and top of like hot sand for Turkish coffee at the side, you know?
This is some sand.
I just like try Turkish coffee.
What?
I said I want to try Turkish coffee. It looks
cool.
good. I heard it's really good. I heard it's like one of the best coffees in the world.
Have I had that? No, I don't think I have. I've had like I've had like Turkish tea.
How was that? Is that good?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's kind of interesting because the way that they make it is they have like two pots on top of each other. One has like boiling water, and then the other one has like the tea
So
with
it condensates
the water
upwards, and then.
Well, I think that's how that works. I don't remember fully. But it's because I have that on my stepmom's side of the family. She has a cousin who's married to like a Turkish guy, and like they fully the cousin like fully converted to like Muslim or something like that. It's the Muslim people that I'm like, oh yeah, it's like a bunch of white
people over there.
It's like a bunch of white people with like a Muslim, a Hindu, like a Catholic Italian family, and then us, which are like the brown people,
multicultural family.
It's a multicultural family, which is kind of interesting. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, the tea is pretty good. They kind of do it. The way that they serve it is kind of weird. It's kind of like how Jay serves his tea sometimes in just like glass jars, you know, which I always find
it's only
funny.
to you he does that.
That's fair, yeah.
It is only to you that I do it.
Fuck you. But yeah, no, they do the same kind of thing, but they have like these like fancy little like weird cups that like are kind of like hourglass like mini carafes. You know what I mean? They're like really small. They're like maybe like what is that 3 inches or something like that tall. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, no, that tea's it's pretty good. I mean,
if I have a lot of times, okay, so this stems from my dad has clients that he works for that are very, very into tea. And how you can tell they're very, very into tea is that when we went to their place, right? Like they have a tea set, and I don't mean like a tea set as in like, oh, there's a gay ass little like matching tea cups and a pot. No, they have a stand, right, that is at least like 5 inches tall of like basically like a platter full of like fucking 18 different little tiny teacups, 2 different pots, right? Area for everything to go. There's like circular little like notches and whatever into the platter to put like individual cups so you know where everything goes. And then there's like a layer to it, to the platter, where like the tea, if you spill any or water, it would drains to the bottom, and there's like a pan to catch it. Then the bottom you can remove. Like it's a whole fucking thing.
Do they have like tea pets for it too?
Huh?
Like little tea pets? Where's like little like figures?
Little cats
that you
for the
just put,
teas?
like, yeah, where you just pour tea that you don't want to drink.
I was kidding.
Yes? Question
They have, like, little
I've been getting
cats
videos
that
about like tea
drink tea.
culture, and like some people have that.
I am
You think
not
cats can drink tea?
sure. Yeah. Yes. If Butter can eat dry leaves and drink water, he has the capacity to drink tea.
I don't think there's much that Butter can't eat, you know?
Yeah, he's eating bugs, rats, lizards.
Yeah, whether or not he'll feel great afterwards is kind of a
that
different
piece
story.
of cheese
but
on that rat trap that he got stuck on him the other day.
yeah.
No, he didn't eat the cheese. He almost did.
I was gonna say, I
man.
think, you know, like, yeah, no, I don't.
He was about to eat it. I was spraying the bathroom because I was like cleaning it up. I just hear. I look into the kitchen. I see like that rat trap in the middle of the floor. I see Butter like running away from me, like.
What was that?
That's funny. Yeah, no. Mexican lover. I think I already told you was trying to make pizzas and shit, and she threw it on the floor. I didn't remember. About it. Would you guys consider yourselves snitches?
No,
Depends.
Depends.
I don't get stitches.
Depends.
Ain't no bitch.
Do you see yourself? This is more of a question for Josh, since he says he's not a snitch. Would you say that there are contexts for being a snitch, or like you would never say anything because it's not your business?
I think there's context. Like if I have loyalty to that person, then yeah.
Say
if I have like no association to that person and they're just probably an asshole, then yeah, I would snitch on them.
Okay. Say you're a acquaintance to the person, not close friends by any means, but you play a couple of like games with him outside of work. Like you probably just see him on a day-to-day basis in the work environment where you guys are not attached to each other. But you guys hang out.
No, I wouldn't snitch.
Okay.
So I was talking to one of the chicks that I work with at work, and I think she was just talking about her possibly cheating on her husband and stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know.
You guys talk about some wild stuff at that workplace, huh?
No, she talks to me about some wild shit because she doesn't work. So if you're listening to this, you know exactly who you are. You sit right next to me on my right.
Oh.
Fuck you.
He's throwing shades again.
I'm throwing shade again. You're mad I get paid more than you. Because I actually work when I go to work. This isn't a social club. Do your fucking job and maybe you'll get a raise. What's it called? So you should clip that.
No.
So we were talking about that kind of thing, and well, she was talking about a different situation, and then she ended up relating it to herself, right? But I was saying that I would have to fully think this out, which is what I'm going to do with you guys, but I'm just going to present the question to you guys.
Do it.
Would you guys
cheat?
No, would you cheat?
Yeah.
Like, if you knew somebody, right? Hey, chill out.
The more wives, the better, right?
Josh, you're scaring the hose.
Stop.
They really are.
Shit. They're scary.
They
You're
really
scared
are
the chicks, bro. You're scaring Kennedy away.
Kennedy, no.
So if you knew somebody that was married, right? And you knew that either that person, like say, like, you know, like your friend, let's just like say that they're a dude, right? Like if you knew that your guy friend was married to somebody, right? And if either of them was cheating, would you tell the other person? So like say if you found out that your bro's wife was cheating on him, right? Would you tell him? Or if you knew that your bro was cheating on his wife, would you tell her?
Oh, I'm gonna need some time to hammer out my thoughts. What do you think, Josh?
I don't think so.
You don't think, like, in either situation?
That's an issue for them to handle. Like, if I get involved, then I'm going to be involved for the long run. Like, and that's like something I don't want to get involved with.
I think I wouldn't hesitate to get involved because if I am in such a close relationship with that couple, then I ultimately want things to work out for them.
Yeah. Am I associated with both of them or just the one?
I mean, honestly, we could go into conversations about all these different, very specific scenarios, right? Because there's really an answer for all of them. There's different answers for all of them. You could say one answer works for all of them, but that's not really if you're thinking about like the true intricacies of the relationships you have with both of those people.
Right, because it's never really a one-side thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think
if the bro's wife is cheating, I'm telling you.
If the bro's wife is cheating on him, right? You would tell him in any situation?
Because it's the bro.
Generally, as a rule, it depends on the nature of the cheating. And like technically all cheating is wrong, question mark. But at the same time, if they have been frustrated for a very long amount of time and there's nothing that the other person is doing, so to alleviate their own whatever needs because the other party wouldn't do it, they start cheating, I would feel less inclined to tell because I would at least try to talk to them about it first and be like, hey, I know this thing that you're doing. It's not really my business, but because, okay, at least for myself, right? I feel like if I'm close to the person, any one of y'all, for example, like one of my close friends get into a relationship to the point where you are married, right?
Okay.
I would know the other person pretty well, I think. Like to a certain extent. I would, because you guys are so close that you're getting married, I would at least be in both of your lives for a pretty significant like amount of events, I would think. Right? At least I would like to be, unless I'm not invited, in which case.
No, I'm just kidding.
Remember now your best man?
I would like
No,
like with the current amount of friends that I have right now, if I were to get married tomorrow, like you guys would be part of my cohort. Well, what's that called? Like not like the best man, but like the groomsman, right?
Yes, the groomsman.
You guys would be my groomsman.
Why say no, Jay?
well, because if it makes me any sort of a best man and he gives me a chance to say a speech, I'm gonna do some fuck shit.
And that's the best thing.
The point.
That's the point.
That's the point of that speech.
Embarrass me right before, like as I've gotten married, because at that point it's too late for her to leave, right?
Yeah. The point is to like crash on the guy, but also like congratulate him and be like,
yeah.
It's
Congrats, you
never
got
too
one.
late.
You tricked one into marrying you.
Exactly. But if I'm decently close with both, then I would feel a responsibility to be fair to both sides. And if one person is doing all the fuck shit and the cheating was for no reason other than selfish desire, I would 100% go to that person and be like, hey, stop with the fuck shit, or I'm gonna be forced to take action, sort of deal. Like, it's not my business, but also I feel like it's my responsibility as a friend to try to make my friends happy, you know? And if I know this is going on, it would be wrong for me to not tell them and get involved, regardless of whether I will be in it for the long haul or not, because I'm gonna be in it for the long haul if I'm gonna be like in a healthy relationship with the two of y'all anyways. But if they're doing it because I know that they have been, like I said before, like in a very difficult and frustrating situation, and the other person is doing fuck all for it, and like, you know, one person is being a dickhead and the other one used cheating as a retaliation, I would sympathize with the cheating one a little bit more. Ultimately, what they did is still wrong, like it's no excuse, but also at the same time, I would be like, look, I understand how you feel. I just think what you're doing is wrong, and I'm probably not going to tell on you, but you should find a healthier method to deal with this and such. So in that situation, if the other party continues to be a dickhead, I probably would not tell. But if the other party is, I know for a fact, it kind of like innocent or relatively innocent, then I would consider telling and mediating in between them. Not for breaking them up. I don't think I'm ever gonna do something like, hey, you should break up with them, they're cheating on you, that sort of deal. Because if they're happy enough to get married with each other, there was something that worked. I wish for them to work it out if possible. Complicated matter. But yes and no for that question. But generally, I'm more inclined to interfere. What's up? What do you think?
No, I'm looking at the wall. I'm looking for the wall's input. Yeah, what do you think, Dor? Bro,
that's messed up.
Yo, that's fucked up, man. You didn't have to do it like that.
Hey, can you use like the AI voice to like do something?
No.
Can you like take can you take like wood creaking and like put that into the AI voice generator?
Oh,
No.
that would work actually.
Yeah.
No.
And like make it say something like really fucked up.
Give me the
Like,
account.
bro, you didn't have
I'm
to
still
involve
paying
the
for
kid
it,
in
by the
that,
way.
bro. You didn't have to do the kid like that.
Damn it.
That's funny. Okay, what do you think, Josh? Because
It really
I'm looking at
depends
you
on the
now.
situation.
Okay.
Honestly,
Give us a situation where you would or wouldn't, whichever one you feel like answering.
I think I'm in the same boat as Jay. Like, if it's like one of you guys, then yeah, we're gonna know your partner regardless, since you guys are gonna be attached at the hip at that point.
Okay.
Attach it. Nice.
Attach at the groins.
Nice.
And then you're just cheating just cause, then I feel like I would have to interfere. Like, that's kind of messed up.
Interfere how though? Like, if say for example, I was fucking Eric's dad, and you know me before you know his.
Oh, that's cheating. I think that's just the natural order of things, really.
Let's say I'm married to Eric's dad.
That's cheating.
And then I start seeing some chick on the side for no reason, just besides the fact that I don't know, his dad is not as, he doesn't have as fat of an asses anymore because of age is fucking him up. Like, what would you do? Would you come to me to speak with me first and be like, hey, stop with the fuck shit, or would you just go to the dad?
I'll probably talk to you first and be like, what's going on in that little mind of yours?
And I'm just like, this ass is not fat anymore, bro. Like, I just can't be helped. I want more
you
fat
ask
asses.
him to put some Botox up in there.
Botox in his ass cheeks?
Jesus.
Bro.
Tell him to get BBL.
Jesus.
Brazilian butt lift, for those who don't know what a BBL is.
Wasn't Botox like one of the listed way to stop like drooling?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Cut this out, right? Now we're back. So, but yeah, no, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's a good time.
You know what's also wild? My fucking Wednesday sucked recently.
What happened on your
What?
Wednesdays, man?
So, on Tuesday, the night before, I got really high.
I see.
So when I woke up, luckily I didn't have my morning class. So I woke up like an hour before I left. I just sat in bed, just like,
Yeah.
just that whole morning. And by the time I left, it was already like pretty late for me. Where I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna be late to class if I don't leave by now."
Yeah.
And by the time I arrived to my class, I forgot 2 major things: a pencil that worked
Nice.
for class.
So you had a pencil that did.
Yeah, but I ended up fixing it like in the middle of class.
Oh, like a mechanical pencil, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
mechanical pencil.
I was like a wooden pencil that didn't work. I don't know why. It's just like a what?
Who carries wooden pencils now?
I do.
I do.
Yeah.
I
What are
know.
you on about?
I almost exclusively use wooden pencils
I
right
only
now.
use mechanicals.
That's fair.
Okay, that's fair.
I want to get some mechanical pencils, but I just have wooden pencils.
So I forgot my mechanical pencil.
Mhm.
I have 3. Forgot all 3 of them.
Nice.
I have like 2 in my car and then 1 like in my jacket, and I forgot all of them. And my earbuds, which was like what made my day terrible
No.
because
You got approached by some Christians?
yup,
Actually?
Yes.
Hey,
but
no
not
way.
any normal Christians, pro-life Christians.
Oof. Oof.
So I got stuck in that for like a good 20 minutes outside.
What'd you say to him?
Man, do we want to
I
go into the
just
pro-life
kept on-
abortion?
No.
No. I just kept on telling them I have no choice in this matter. Like the situation depends. Like I don't want to get involved that much because it's not my choice to make.
Yeah.
It's just always baffled me how you always manage to have a somewhat of a conversation with them. That's just insane to me that you never just
I
consider.
try to walk away and then I just
You
get.
mean you try to walk away? You just walk away. That's all you do, man.
Sometimes what I do when I like come across a situation, like recently I signed some petitions for like, you know, some laws and stuff. While I was at like my
Well,
community
I
college.
don't mind doing those because it's like okay, it helps the
Right.
cause.
Yeah. I mean, I always like ask for details. I was like, "Yo, can I get details? Like, how does this work?"
No, yeah,
You know,
same.
And they'll like tell me like some details, not as many as I would like. You know, I want to know like how does this affect different things, whatever. But like they just kind of tell me a general thing, and I signed it like the first day that I got asked, and then after that, like they've been doing it for weeks, right? And like, you know, they all come up to me, and I'm like, "Oh, is it like is it like a 4-page? Are there 4 different petitions that you're trying to get me to sign?" They're like, "Oh yeah." Like, okay, well, I've already signed all of them. They're like, "Oh, well, are you sure? You want to read them? Like, you want to?"
They're
I'm
that
like,
pushy with you.
they're that pushy with me.
They're usually just.
Yeah, and
They
at this
usually
point,
fuck off after.
yeah. After usually, like at this point, now what I do is like, "Oh, are you here for the petitions?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've signed them. Sorry, you know, like I've signed them. Thanks." And he's like, "Oh, well, you know," and I'm like, "That's it." And then like it's come so far down the line for me now that I act like I don't speak that much English. I'm like, "Oh yes, no, I don't know. Sorry, I don't. You know, I'm just like, "Oh no." I just like walk past them. I don't like give them any kind of accent. I'm just like, "Oh no." You know, I don't like say anything. I'm just like,
So did they end up asking you to sign anything? The pro-life Christians?
No, he just gave me a booklet at the end of it.
Oh, I see.
I was,
have the
I was
booklet?
going
Yeah,
to eat lunch at that time, so I was like really hungry at that time.
"Dude, but do you have the book?"
Yeah, do you have the booklet?
No, I threw it away.
What the fuck?
Read it. I want to read
Threw it away like some child got thrown away.
it. Like some child got thrown away.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh no.
Oh, man.
No.
They could like use those organs and grow them. No.
Organ farming.
Dibby Farm, where we harvest the organs of children and we grow them for profit.
Different ranch.
Diva Ranch, where we harvest.
Dibby Farm is a subcategory. It's the one on the dark web.
Yeah, Diva Farm, dark
Dibby
web.
Farm.
Harvest abortion organs for
Yeah.
later people that need actual
Later people.
organs. Later people.
What happened after? Did you get them?
Was that the whole note?
Did you
Oh.
grab the car and you hit him?
I was like this close to like punching the guy. I was like,
No.
I was really
No,
close.
You
my
should've punched him.
wavy boy.
I was just waiting. I was like, okay, it's gonna be quick. Just like get the booklet and then walk away. But then he's
It's-
like, bring a conversation. I was like, I don't want to fucking talk about this.
Man. Yeah. No, I just no, that was a good time.
And then when I was driving home, I like 30 minutes driving in. I was like, I had nothing playing the whole time.
Bruh.
I'm driving home. So I was just driving home in complete silence of my thoughts. And I got really bummed out during that whole time.
Once in a while, your day gets so bad that you don't even put music on anymore. You just drive home.
I just got my car started and it just started driving.
No, there are some days where like, at least when I had a car, like usually like especially when I was in like when I had my own car because I don't have a car. I would listen to like classical music or like that was kind of like the start of like me listening to podcasts. But there was like this specific radio station that I would listen to, like that had like classical music, or I'd like play it on my own or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then there were some days that were just not great, or like especially like recently when I like borrow people's cars, if I'm just not having that great of a day, I just won't listen to anything. I'll just be like one with my thoughts. I remember when I had my own car, when I used to do this healthy thing, when I would talk to myself and talk through my problems and stuff. I would just nothing. There's nothing, and it's just me talking out loud to myself, asking myself like questions and like going into.
I record some of those.
Stuff. Sorry,
I record some of those sometimes.
I was thinking about doing that recently. Like I was actually thinking about that like the other day, where I was thinking about because I don't like writing stuff down because it just takes too much thought to sit down, think about what I'm going to write, whether what I'm writing is coherent or not is like a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, what if I were just to like have like an audio journal of like how I feel, like my thoughts or what I'm going through or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And because you have the, like on iPhone, it's called voice memos.
Yeah.
Where you just, it's just a recorder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, like what if I were to just do that? That would be pretty cool. But I think I would probably do that like when I'm driving around and stuff. There aren't very many situations now where I would
drive
record
alone.
those. I was having a moment like when I was it's usually when I'm by myself, right? You guys weren't home most of the day yesterday.
Yeah.
And Mexican Lover hadn't come over like until later in the day yesterday. Yeah. And while I was like cleaning and stuff and I was like doing my thing, whatever, chilling, I was doing that mostly. I was like talking like straight up out loud, just like to myself, talking about specific things that were like happening. It was like a straight up like just conversation with myself, which I like sometimes, or sometimes like I'll like sing or something because I'm gay like that, But usually it'll be conversations that I'll have with myself because sometimes it's kind of hard to like really have a conversation when like this might not make sense. But like when one voice is like louder than the other, like in an internal monologue, not a monologue, but like a internal dialogue with myself.
I don't do that, but I get what you're saying, where you have two thoughts going on at the same time, and sometimes one thought is kind of covering up the other a little bit, and you're kind of muddled, and you can't really get your head cleared out. No, I get it. You laughed at me about this because you think it was an old man habit before, but I have transformed my wallet into a little notebook.
I will still laugh at you for it.
I know.
For a second, I didn't realize what you were talking about, and I was like, "Oh man, maybe I feel bad." Maybe you feel like maybe. Well, for a second, I didn't realize where you were going because I'm already starting to feel buzzed, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh man, maybe this is like a thing that like I shouldn't laugh at." But now that you mentioned the notebook, it's something I'm gonna laugh at. Yeah, you're fucking weird. No, I'm just kidding. That's fucking my dad's journal from 1974.
No, so what this is, right? This notebook right here in front of me that I'm pointing at with a pocket knife is it's a dump of information. It's basically where whenever I think of something and I have the time to physically do it, I would just open it, write down whatever fuck shit I'm thinking about, no matter how stupid or how fucked up or how inconsequential it is. If it's something that I think I'm thinking of that's worth recording, I would write it down. And I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person that if I have something in my brain kind of just spinning or in like a back burner somewhere, it would continue to be there for the entire day.
If you don't like sit down and process it.
If you don't sit down and process it and put it somewhere, it's going to be there at the back of my mind for whatever it is that I'm doing, upwards to 8 hours plus, right? Where it would just constantly be a thing I'm thinking about, struggling, processing, whatever. So writing it down, I feel like somehow allows me to kind of just be like, cool, setting that aside to deal with later. You know, like at least then my brain is kind of like, it does one of two things. Either one, it puts it into overdrive if I'm not doing anything else, where I write it out and my brain just go, oh, and fucking start firing off different shit and try to like solve the problem in as many ways as possible. In that case, I just continue writing as much as I can. And when everything is down on a page, brain activity kind of like cease a little bit. Like instead of having it burn for like the remainder of the 5 hours, it would all happen within 20 minutes if I have the free time, where everything just kind of pop out very quickly and I put everything onto the notebook. And then at the end of the day, I haven't been doing it because I haven't had the time. I'm usually really tired or doing something else at the end of the day. But what I would like to do is to go back and look at all of those before I go to sleep. And then I would go to sleep off whatever it is. And at least that way, it would help me like organize my thoughts a little bit better. So I don't know about the voice memo thing. I try voice memoing, right? Like what you said before in the car, talking to myself and whatever it is. But whenever I do voice memo, I find it like really difficult for me to listen back to it. Mainly because I hate hearing my own voice. Fucking terrible.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think for me, it just, because whenever I have those dialogues, right, it's not me like spewing my ideas. It's never like a monologue, really, because I don't know for you, but like for me, it's never a monologue, right? It's always a back and forth between myself of like if I'm thinking about how insecure I am about a specific thing, it's like, okay, well, why am I insecure about this? You know? Like I feel bad when I think of this, and that, right? When I think of someone, you know, that I care about giving somebody else more attention than they give attention to me. Why do I feel like that? Okay, I feel like that because X, Y, and Z. Okay, why does X, Y, and Z matter so much? It's never like a monologue. It's truly like a dialogue between me and myself. And so I think for me, at least, if I were to write those, if I were to voice memo that out, right? If it's not me having a dialogue with myself, it's almost always me thinking out how I'm going to present like a note to you guys, you know? Like that's the only other time that I have monologue. Although that's the only time I really have a monologue, really, right? So like when I'm like biking on my way to work or something like that, and I'm just like, oh, this isn't like the whole marriage thing, right? The whole marriage and cheating one. I've thought that one out multiple times, at least like of what I think about it, right? I didn't think about how to ask you guys because that was kind of weird, but I always thought about how I feel about it, right? And what my thoughts on are about it. I sound a little wet, so if you need to throw up, just throw up in the McDonald's bed right next to you.
Do it.
I'm 3 cans in.
Nice. I'm half.
I didn't realize it was like 4% alcohol only.
Yeah, it's not that much.
It's just.
How many did you have?
Half
a can.
Half a can.
All these cans are me.
Yep, that is correct.
How many?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh my god.
5. This no 4 because he had the 5th one.
This one's mine.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that just the voice memo thing would work for me just because whenever I'm processing something, I can, it's never a monologue. It's always a dialogue. I don't know. There's like a weird thing where, can you grab like 4
Oh, in case you guys are wondering, it's still St. Patrick's Day for us. It's the same recording session, same goddamn day. That's why the boys are kind of drinking.
Yeah, we're fucking.
And I'm not drinking because I get cancer when I drink too much.
You're drinking right now.
You're still drinking, my guy. It's not listening. Your cancer. Yeah, I don't know. There's just, I was trying to think of like for me when I try to have that dialogue in my head, right? Like not out loud.
Yeah.
It's just it's the inner model. It's like the inner voice is significantly louder than any voice of reason I could ever have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Are you walking laps around us?
Yes.
You good, my guy? Okay.
Just let me do my thing.
Dude, just get a plastic bag. Just get a plastic bag just in case. I don't know.
I hope you.
Throwing apart. Not there yet. But
I wish you the best, man. I wish you the best.
Right. You walking around in circles. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something about me trying to have that dialogue in my head that doesn't really work, you know? And when I usually have that dialogue, it's out loud when I'm biking or I'm home by myself and I know I'm by myself, you know, or if I'm like borrowing someone's car and I'm by myself, you know. I used to do it a lot when I had my own car and I was just driving around. So there were some days where I wouldn't even listen to anything, where I would just have those conversations by myself, which I think I told you guys not recently, but maybe like a few months ago, where like it used to help a lot, me having those dialogues, and I kind of forgot how to do that for a long time, and I've been trying to do that again, you know? So I just kind of started ignoring
100%.
like what was happening.
I get that. It sounds like what you got going on is a lot more structured as a way of like self-therapy, you know? I find it really interesting the way that we process that information is different, because essentially what we're doing is the same shit. It's just different. Yeah. Talking to ourselves in the car like a fucking idiot, right? Like what you're doing, it's so much more structured. It's in like, but how does that make you feel? And then you just you answer it yourself. You are truly, exactly. You're truly your own therapy.
It doesn't make me feel good. I feel not good. Yeah.
At least for me personally, I always been kind of like a lone wolf. So whenever I talk about that, it's just me talking to myself, and it could be a dialogue. Most of the time, it's just me thinking, not really necessarily saying it out loud, but it's just me going like, "Oh, I guess that's why I'm like that, huh?" Okay, and then it's never really a whole lot of conflict going on. I do change my mind a lot, but it's never like a one against the other sort of deal. So at least I find it really interesting that you separate it into two entity, and you kind of just like going back and forth. Maybe I'll try that. Seems like it's kind of efficient. To
get like a little bit like big brain. I think with all the things that like have happened in like my own life. Yeah. Like with all the different I've always been big on like perspective, right? Yes. I've always been big on like finding other perspectives from different people, understanding why they feel a certain way, why they think a certain way, why they believe what they believe, right? Yeah. And I think that comes from like a logical like standpoint, whereas I feel like a lot of the things that I do and the way that I act is very emotional. I kind of just do what I feel like I want to do, you know? And a lot of the times that's not good, right? Because I'm like, I don't feel like taking care of myself, so I'm just not going to do it, you know? Yeah. And I think, like I said, since I kind of forgot how to have that dialogue with myself, that emotional, like lazy, that kind of giving up on like me has kind of taken over. And at least for me, I've noticed, and I'm kind of proud of that, like I'm starting to try harder, you know, with taking care of myself. Yeah. You know, I'm trying a little bit harder on like keeping myself like more like clean looking, not so homeless looking, you know, trying to like.
You still look homeless though.
I mean, I still look homeless, but it's better than.
You should cut your hair.
It's I don't know, it's like a little bit different where I actually do care about getting like an essential oil to like you know put on my face, or like having like a skincare routine, kind of like trying to cook for myself, you know.
I'm down to do skincare stuff with you. Be a little gay about it.
Yeah, I'm down to be gay about it. I just
do you like the little black mask stuff.
I mean, I don't know anything about skincare because I never really, because like for me it's
I
always
can get you into it.
I mean, for me it's always been as simple as just don't eat sugar, you know. Because that's literally what it was for me when I was like a teenager, right? Like the biggest
contribution
to acne has always been sugar, right? And I mean it is, of course, for different people it's different, right? There's a lot of other things that factor into it, but for me, sugar has always been the number one contributor to acne. Like always, right?
Milk is also a big one, apparently.
Well, milk is also a big one, but since I'm lactose intolerant, I almost like naturally avoid it, right? So it's not so much of a big contributor, right? But for me, like it was always like my parents like, you know, brag about this to other people, right? They don't brag about me so much anymore because I don't do anything with my life. But
whoa. God damn.
Look, I'm buzzed, so now it's like now anything goes, right? Yeah. But it was always like whenever I started noticing that I started breaking out, it was like that. I just stopped eating sugar for a few weeks and then I was clear. I was chilling. You know?
Never broke out that much in high school. Like
well,
on the
I don't
face.
think either of you really break out all that much. I think if there's
Wanna know
anyone,
why? It goes all on my back.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. All my acne went straight to my back.
Can I start looking at your back and like starting to bite?
Can you start taking off your shirt
I
and
probably
turning
have like a
around
bunch
into
of
the corner?
acne scars on my back, like around my shoulder areas. Like
no, that's fair. Yeah,
I think it's pretty bad up there.
No, that's fair. I mean, it has to happen somewhere. You know? But I don't know.
Like I had a few like here and there in the face. But
yeah, I mean everyone does. You know. But at least to me, like what works and what I've like noticed is like people that has a huge sweet tooth has a lot of acne, right? Or like has like well, you know, he has it like sometimes, but then there are some times where I notice that he doesn't eat that much sugar. Of course, I don't know what you eat every single day, but at least when you're home, since I live with you, I could see that more often than not, right? Like when you used to eat like ice cream for like straight up meals, right? You had more acne.
Oh yeah.
You know? Whereas now you don't really do that all that often, right? And so you don't have as much acne.
Interestingly, whenever acne like not really break out, but whenever acne happens to me, it's when I consistently don't get like good rest. Like I think that
stress is also a big one.
I mean, like here's the thing. It's like sugar is like one of the biggest like things that is detrimental to our health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's so processed and like we don't like natural sugars are different. Sorry?
So addictive.
It's so addictive. Well, because it's not a natural sugar, right? People like think like, oh yeah, well, you know, it's like, you know, fruit still has all this sugar. It's like that's a different kind of sugar, right?
Fructose, not glucose.
Yeah, it's a different kind of sugar. It's not processed. It's not natural, right? Whereas, you know, sugars that you would find in fruit, yes, like if you just eat apples every single day, or like if you just eat bananas every single, yes, too much of a good thing is always going to be a bad thing, right? But if you're eating fruits and stuff, and like if you replace all the candy bars that you eat or all the sugar that you would eat with a natural sugar, like any kind of fruit stuff, right? It's not going to have the same effect as if you were to eat, you know, 4 Snickers a day versus if you were to eat 4 different kinds of fruit a day. You know, there's different kind of sugars. It's different kinds of nutrients that you get from, you know, candy bars and stuff. One of the things that I really would want to do with you guys is to try and like completely turn around like our health, you know, because for me, like I struggle a lot with doing things like by myself because I'm not very loyal to myself at all. Right? Whenever I try to do something for myself, it's like, oh yeah, I'll do it for a week, and it's like, who cares? It's just me. It's like, you know, I'm super flexible with myself. But whenever it's like flexible to somebody else, like I'm not really like that. You know, I can't really do that. And so I think it would be really cool if like
I love this. In fact, I'm so excited about this that I'm totally down to make some sort of a concrete rudimentary plan after this episode. I'm down when I'm sober. I'm not sober right now.
That's the reason why I'm sharing this right now is because I'm sober versus if I was not sober. I'm not sober. If I was sober, I probably would have been a little bit more hesitant.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a constant like thought in my head where it's like, oh, it'd be really cool if like I could just make like a juice for us that we like drink throughout the week. You know, it doesn't have to replace any meals. It doesn't have to do anything. It's just like us drinking it. So then we have like more nutrients in our bodies.
I'm also really into that. I actually really wanted this when I went to like a furniture store for my parents when I was hanging out.
Bob's Furniture?
No, I wish. No, but they had a on display fruit bowl that's not even for sale, but it's like this really nice fruit bowl that is acting as a centerpiece to a dining table. And it had a bunch of like fake plastic fruits and stuff on it. But I was like, I am totally down to get like a fruit bowl for the house and just have like a really nice display of fruit like at the bar, at that the bar table that we got, the countertop that we have, and where everyone walks by. Because one of the things when I was reading audiobooks is that like habits are kind of formed more by proximity than like what you like. if like what you have around you is convenient, you will do that thing over something that is unhealthy
100%.
and whatnot. So I was like, I think I might get like a really nice looking fruit bowl for us and just have that on the counter. And then you would walk by and just grab a fruit because it's so easy that you would just grab it.
Well, that was one of the things that I even noticed like recently within the past week.
Yeah.
Right. Where I was like, man, why do I not want to eat this orange, which is right there? It's right there. I was at work because someone brought like some cuties to work. Right. Yeah. And I was like, man, I'm kind of feeling kind of hungry. There's some cuties right there, but I don't really want them. Yeah. Right? Why don't I want the cuties that are like right behind, like 5 to 10 feet behind me? Because even though they're so close, but I want something else that's not those cuties.
Yeah.
Oh, because I have to peel it, right? I'm so lazy that I want to peel them, and I'm so used to just opening a bag. Yep. Just it takes me a split second to open the bag, and then I just go for it, right?
Yeah.
And that was like one of the things that I noticed like immediately. I was like, fuck, that sucks. That sucks that I'm so lazy now that I want it to be so easy to just access calories that I'm not even going to peel an orange that's significantly more nutritious for me, that I'm going to avoid cuties as a whole. And that's one of the things that I would love to happen here, where we all keep each other accountable, where it's like, oh, you want to go to the liquor store? It's like, no, we have fruit in the kitchen.
It's like let's finish the fruit first or something like that.
Yeah, like, hey, like you and me, let's go eat. Let's go to eat an orange together. Let's go eat an orange together. Sorry, I'm starting to slur my words.
You got it.
But it's like, let's go eat an orange together. You know, it's like you and me, we go do this thing instead of like being tempted by going to the liquor store or, you know, whatever, to get some fucking unhealthy ass shit, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally get you. And not to be like whatever, when you say that you're so lazy that you wouldn't peel a cutie, an orange, or tangerine, and opening a bag of chip, that, trust me, that is not exclusive to you, and it's not because you're 100%. Lazy. It is just so ingrained in human nature that you want to get the most amount of reward for the least amount of effort, which makes total sense because you know, efficiency.
And just because it's a normal thing between everybody doesn't make it right. You know,
that is true.
It means that it's so ingrained in us that we're so used to it that we've become this just habit-oriented.
I would totally be down to, because like the way to combat that, right? Instead of going against the grain, because you can always use willpower to overcome whatever it is that you need to overcome. But the problem with consistently using willpower is that willpower is a limited resources. It's finite. And once you run out, you will never be able to consistently do it ever. So essentially, the people that seem like they have the most amount of control in their life and seems like they have the most amount of like willpower to do stuff,
They don't.
They just simply don't use willpower as much, then rely instead on habits, discipline, placement of stuff that's smart. For example, if they have an issue with like peeling whatever, they would notice it, and then on a set time, on a set date where they can consolidate their effort and not spend as much time, they could make a little tiny snackable fruit bowl and it's just store it in the fridge. That way it's lessens the amount of burden you need to like, you know, get to that healthy food, right? And you would just, instead of grabbing a snack, open the fridge, grab one of those containers, pop it open, pop that shit into your mouth. You know, I don't know. It's just it's something that we have to learn to do as adults. That's something that was, you know, when we were younger was done for us by other people, humans that lived longer than us. But
they've already gone through this whole phase, and it's like they've implemented these habits.
They started
and systems,
perfecting their daily lives,
and that has like, you know, transferred over to, you know, our lives because like proximity, because we're in the same household as the people who have already gone through this, have already learned these lessons,
and that's why we kind of struggle a lot more when we're living by ourselves, relying on each other who are of a similar age and skill set and whatever. But essentially, right, I'm totally down to like workshop this and do it with you guys because you know, we live in the same house and we share the same space, so it's easier if, you know, we get in on it together and do it so that it benefits all of us, and it
I
takes
want
less
cosmic
effort.
crisps.
we can get some cosmic crisps and put it in a pretty little foot bowl thing, and then we can all just go grab one and eat it together and have a great time. Question mark?
No, I agree with the whole proximity that we live together and it's easier. My parents are always like, "Oh yeah, we should do this thing," and it's like, yes, but
you're far.
But we're far from each other. And I could just tell you that I did a thing like you guys know I've done.
Yeah.
You know? I'm like, oh yeah, I did this thing when I really didn't, you know? So, but to do it with you guys, I think would be interesting and would be a good time. Because then there would be like an actual thing in front of me that keeps me accountable and then vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at least for me, like at least for the past few years, like the thing is like I know what to do, right? And of course everyone knows what to do in order to be healthy. It's just really hard to it's really hard to just do it, especially when you want to do it by yourself, and especially if it's kind of hard to keep yourself accountable to yourself, because the only person that's really going to get mad at you is yourself. But if you don't care, then who cares?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
So especially me, a people pleaser.
People pleaser.
I'll be like, oh no, I'm not doing the thing that we told ourselves we would do.
My ass he would.
What?
What?
Oh fuck. I'm no longer sober.
Yeah,
Jaden, end it now.
Do we want to do another one?
What's the time?
1:45.
I'd be down to do another one.
I'm totally down to do another one, but
are you down to do another one?
We'll talk about it next episode. Thank you all for listening to episode 40 of the Chucklefux podcast.
This went more like deep than it was supposed to, but follow us on the socials.
It came off about how shitty my Wednesday was.
Yes. That's yes.
Yeah.
For me to answer the marriage question, I would
cheat. Eric's a cheater, everyone.
No,
Thank you all
I
for
would
listening.
not. Well, if I was cheating on somebody, I would want someone to have that conversation with me or to snitch on me.
X,
I like how you asked me to end it right now and then just kept going. Like, what are you doing, man? Do you want me to end it or not?
Go for it.
Wait, hold on.